Welcome to the Trinity-Free Football Talk. I'm Zach Cavanagh, along with
Michael Huntley,
and we're here to talk about everything that's not the Trinity League. And while we specifically call ourselves the Trinity-Free Podcast or Football Talk, it's not the Trinity League.
No.
It's not Mission Viejo.
No, sorry.
As much as I like you and your tri-tip sandwiches, it's not San Clemente.
Sorry, Coach Ortiz.
I will take a tri-tip sandwich as, apologies. I would apologize, but I should still get a sandwich.
Zach, before we begin, I have a question for you.
Sure.
The viewers need to know that Zach covered a Trinity League game on Friday.
I did.
Way to say for yourself.
It was two Catholic schools, so I will, pray for my sins. I'm a guilty Catholic myself, so I can't get away from it for too long. I consider it my church for the week.
The Trinity League is really good in your defense.
I mean, when you can see Modern Day put up 42 points in a quarter, it's something. But that's for Steve and Dan to break down on their 5 videos they'll do this week for you. But for us, we're going to cover the middle to lower ends of Orange County High School football, and we'll do it here every week as much as we can to get shine some light on those players that maybe play in the darker depths of Orange County that we miss. So we're going to start out with a game from last week that was a complete surprise. Although if you know Valencia, you know that it's not a surprise necessarily with how they played in their Empire League opener. We had pumped up the Empire League last week.
Yeah.
One of those teams was Cyprus. Valencia beat Cyprus 28-20. Sandoval with 161 yards on the ground. A controversial touchdown, no touchdown late in the game, seals it for Valencia. But this is what they do. They come back from the dead every year, and they take on the Empire League by storm.
Valencia has beaten Cyprus the last few years or so, and Cyprus was high touted going into Empire League play. Skilled players are very good, like we said, but up front, I don't know if they can block the guys from Valencia, Pacifica, Tustin, and they're playing Pacifica this week, so good luck to the Centurions.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen too much. I'd seen Tustin, and I hadn't seen Cyprus, but I'd heard the tales of Cyprus and Alex Ashcraft and the high-flying offense, and it got kind of shut down here. And I think you're right that Valencia is a team that, while they may not look as impressive in non-league play, they know what it's about. We look at it, us and other folks, we look at it as a full season and we think that it's all 10 games and they all matter. But for a lot of these coaches, they'll say the first 5 games are preseason. And some teams treat it exactly like that. I think Valencia is one of those schools, and they get ready for their regular season, which is these 5 games.
And Cyprus kind of, not the opposite, but they didn't play anybody really that tough in non-league besides Capo Valley. I mean, they played El Rancho, Santa Monica, teams that they should have beaten by a lot of points. Now they're playing a stretch with Capo Valley, Valencia, Pacifica all in a row. It's starting to get to them a little bit.
Yeah, and now Cyprus starts behind the 8 ball a little bit because they're already behind Valencia. You got Tustin with a win. You got Pacifica with a win. Pacifica's rolling. Tustin continues to roll. They might find it hard to get one of those playoff berths.
They're not getting a playoff berth. I'm sorry, Cyprus, but Tustin's going to run the ball really well on them. Pacifica's the best team in the league by a mile.
I think so too.
It's going to be tough for Cyprus to get in
Yeah,
there.
Cyprus is going to have to start playing a little rough and tumble here towards the end of the season, but they still have time to get there. And Alex Ashcraft is a heck of a quarterback to do it.
Yeah,
they got the talent. We'll see if they can do it. Another big upset, not a league game, but it's one of those Crestview Conference games, was Canyon El Medina. El Medina had been kind of rated highly by most of us here at the Register and by a lot of people. They'd hung tough with Villa Park, and they had some big wins. They got AJ Esperanza quarterback. I thought a lot of El Medina. I went to their practice and saw them play. But Canyon, despite a couple early losses where people might have forgotten them, put them out of their head, Canyon's come back and makes a big statement here over El Medina.
Well, Canyon's losses were to San Juan Hills and Edison, both teams in our top 20.
Yeah, no slouches.
I saw Canyon against San Juan Hills, and offensively they didn't really impress me that much, but defensively they're very good. Cole Niquette's a very good running back. He had a big game against El Medina also.
Yeah, it's just a big win, and they jump into my top 25. I know they jump into yours.
Me too.
I put them one spot ahead of El Medina because they beat them, and that just seems fair.
Yeah.
I think it's the biggest leap that I've had from non-ranked to ranked so far.
Same here for the season for sure.
Yeah, it's just an impressive win there for Canyon to get back into our kind of radar, and we'll see how that plays when they get into conference play or into league play. They are in conference play. They still have another week of non-conference. Look, Crestview League, it's cool. I like what you do.
Get it together.
The 3 league games is so weird. It's so rough.
Make it one giant league.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
6 game league. But Canyon makes a big statement. See if they can translate that into playoff success when the time comes. we're going to transition into our 2 games of the week. We're going to start with the kind of mid-tier level game of the week here. We have Catella versus Santa Ana Valley in the Orange League. Probably the game for the Orange League. Catella is such a strong team year in, year out. Santa Ana Valley with an explosive player, Malcolm Wesley. But Catella, Nathan Arrington, he's a strong kid that can run pretty well.
After their inexplicable loss at Kennedy in week 0, they've won 5 in a row, and they're probably the best team in the Orange League significantly. They've won the league the last few years in a row. But if anyone's going to give a game at Santa Ana Valley, it's Malcolm Wesley.
Yeah, Catella is one of those teams that's, when we do our top 25s and when, Steve organizes these things, there's like a 10, 15 team group really from about number 19 all the way down to 28 or 29.
That in there.
Yeah, they can move places any given week. If you've made it, just cleared the board and started over, you could rank those teams however you want. Catella's in that group, and as the team of the Orange League, they're definitely there. Santa Ana Valley though, Malcolm Wesley, I know he's Steve Fryer's player of the week. 351 rushing yards, 93-yard kick return, and he's playing quarterback now because I saw Santa Ana Valley against Santa Ana. There's not a whole lot else there. No disrespect to the fine Santa Ana Valley Falcons, but Malcolm Wesley is just an otherworldly talent that has track skills that translate.
If they're going to beat Catella, it's going to be because of something he does.
Yeah, he's going to break off a couple of kickoff returns, see how that goes. Our other game of the week, and this is, when we're talking about the teams that we do and don't cover, this is probably the upper echelon of what we're allowed to go. Anywhere else is above our pay grade here at Trinity-Free Football Talk. But that is the Seaview League Championship game. It's only the second week of league play, but this is this. El Toro taking on Capo Valley. Capo Valley, I think they're number 11 this week. Just the defense of the county, really. Take out those Trinity teams. They are the best defense, I think, that you can find.
No wonder even Zach Rittner on the 2 ends. It's really hard to block those guys. And they're really good. They were really good last year as juniors. I saw them against Lisa Miguel last year. They were probably the best defensive end tandem in the league last year, and they're juniors. They're seniors now. So.
And they're the big names, but their secondary is very good. Returning strong safeties in there, and that's a team that is the matchup. Is that defense versus the El Toro offense of Cooper Jones at quarterback with Austin Derrico, Noah Aguilar, Shane McLaughlin. That's the matchup. If Capo can shut down El Toro's offense, then Capo's going to win this game.
I think it happens because El Toro needs time to throw the ball, get those guys open, and those defensive ends are just going to be barreling down the defensive end there. And Cooper Jones is going to need some time to get going with those receivers, and I think Capo Valley might be able to shut them down. It was kind of a blowout last year. I believe it was 42-7 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But El Toro, those receivers are really, really athletic.
They are. And
they do have a shot they can get them the ball a little bit. They might have to kind of a lot of 2-step drops, a lot of quick kind of slant kind of things to beat Capo. And hopefully, they keep Nathan Manning and the Capo offense off the field.
Yeah, the offense of Capo Valley can go in spurts. They've been a little inconsistent at times, but if they can run the option really well with Nathan Manning, transitioning from wide receiver to quarterback, he can run the option really well. And I saw El Toro against Mission, and despite them playing Mission Viejo, if there was guys open, and like you said, Cooper Jones needs that extra time to throw, and he didn't get it against a team like Mission Viejo, so he overthrew guys. If he has that extra second and Capo can't get to him on time, he's going to find his receivers, and they can make plays. They're, like you said, athletic. They're going to be a strong team.
El Toro ran the ball for 185 yards against Aliso last week. They're not going to do that at Capo Valley.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be all through the air. Their running backs are okay with Castaneda and Bruce, and they can break off big plays. But if they make them one-dimensional, it's going to be up to the speed.
This could be a 4-hour game, just so everyone knows. This could be a 4-hour game.
Could be a lot of passes. We'll finish up here with our players of the week.
For me, it's Ray Sagastumi from Pacifica. He had 4 touchdowns in his return game for Mariners against Kennedy. He ran for 95 yards, and he had a big receiving catch, too. He's a big part of that team. When he's on offense, Tojia can still have defense in play, so he's on player of the week this week. Ray Sagastumi.
Mine is from Valencia in that big upset over Cyprus. Nathan Sandoval, 161 rushing yards. Didn't get a score, but instrumental into controlling that game and letting Valencia take that one. That's all we got for our Trinity-Free Football Talk. Follow all of our channels here. On Twitter, I'm Zach Cav.
I'm Mike Huntley 63. Tweet at us, leave us a comment on YouTube. Let us know what you want to talk about next week.
Yeah, let us know if we're not getting a team in your league, in your area that's maybe getting overlooked. There's a star player, a great performance that we don't see. let us know, and we'll try to get it on the show next Monday. Until then, follow OC Varsity for all your high school football needs.
Thanks, guys.